Here to talk about this and more, Heidi Hamilton from the Frosty, Heidi and Frank Show and Dish Nation.
Oh my God, I love him.
He did a whole thing, but everybody was like,
I see, that's what I don't understand. I mean, here's the thing. You fly, we've all flown. I don't like to travel.
Right.
And so this flight was supposed to take off at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
It got delayed 6 times. Imagine that. We're just like, oh my God, I can't get me off of this plane. You just want to get to where you're going.
Right.
I mean, and I think the thing with this is, what started this is everyone was uptight anyway because of all the delays. Then they asked first-class passengers, because there was some sort of weight issue, they needed to redistribute weight, first-class passengers to come back and sit in economy. Now, I think Alphonse D'Amato got up and moved, like, let's just do whatever they need us to do so that we can get this plane up so we can get to where we're going.
Right.
And there were some first-class passengers that weren't willing to do that.
So he's
he's calling out the pilot saying, you know,
I mean,
get some nerve. Tell these people that they need to do this so we can get. And they weren't doing it. Then he was.
Well, I think there was some support on the plane though, and people who were actually running that video, they were kind of saying, "Hey, he's got a point.
Let's go." Yeah.
Let's
What
go.
happened to free speech? Don't we live in America? And somebody's like, "No, we're in Florida." So
Right.
a little commentary on Florida there. But I mean, you feel like you watch that video and you're like, God, I feel that. I feel that tension on that plane.
but when you're delayed 6 or 7 hours and you just want to get going, to get off the plane only to be delayed longer, I think was not the thing. You know, where
on
he
one hand,
failed
though, he
sort
got
of
off the plane. It's like, oh God, thank
Well,
God.
he was more ejected, I think. That wasn't really a...
I know, it didn't really go his way. But I kind of love him for that. Like, he's saying, stand up, let's get this done.
I just find it funny.
But it would have been...
He tried to do the Friends Romans Countryman.
Right. It didn't go, I think.
But he's
like,
always colorful, Bob.
They're like, I'm eating my peanuts.
Yeah. We're going to move on to the Kardashians, of course, because we know some people have been detained for questioning in connection with that huge heist that occurred. It's been a long time of people saying, how could this have happened? Such a breach in security. And now the limo driver there in France is being one of the people who's being questioned. I think they have about 96 hours to talk to these people, and then they have to let them go if they don't have anything.
Right.
So, your thoughts?
So that's why a lot of people are going, aha, it was her driver, her driver. See, we said it was an inside job, but it's not really her driver. It's like when she goes to France, this is the guy that drives them. So, you know, when you build a relationship with somebody, you're like, let's just get that guy because we trust him, we like him, and try to get the same guy. So it's not that it's her, it's not an inside job in that way, but clearly he had enough trust from them, and then he could tip off all these other people. And the way they tracked them down is one of the thieves was just kind of clumsy, whether he got nervous or whatever. He dropped some of the stuff that he had stolen, and then they were able to get a trace DNA off of that and then track everybody down that way.
That'll do it. Now, we were most surprised yesterday that some of the would-be thieves were 73 years old.
I know.
Right.
Between 23 and 73.
Yeah,
it's like,
originally they were saying 53 to 73, and you're like, what?
even in some lines of work, don't you get to a certain age where you're like, I'm retiring. I used to be a jewel thief, but I'm like 73 now.
Right.
I'm just sort of laying back. And
Just goes to show there's life after retirement.
right.
If you
can
have
never
it
be
in you,
full.
if you've got the energy,
Right.
you know.
Now, up until
Keep
this
it
point,
together.
Kim hasn't talked at all about this and has shut down social media, the whole thing. Now it's being teased that when the show comes back, this will be front row and center.
Right.
That's where a lot of people go, This is all for ratings, because ratings were kind of plummeting a little bit. And now I think the show's going to come back in, like it's March, and this is going to be a major plot point. It's like, how could it not be?
Like psychological trauma.
Of course.
But there wouldn't be a police investigation if it wasn't
No, I think
real.
I think it is legitimate, and if it happens and you do a reality show, well, of course you're going to talk about it on your reality show. It'd be weird if they didn't mention it, you know, when you watch that family.
Let's talk about the big divorce of 2016, which continues on to 2017, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah,
What's going on
I thought it
with
was
that now?
final, and then because they made this deal where she was going to get $7 million. She's going to sign the paperwork. We're done. $7 million, and it's it wasn't for her. She wanted it to go to her charity. So, but apparently he was going to do the $7 million in installments, and he's not making the installment payment. And so now she's saying, just do the $7 million. It's a tax write-off for you. Give me the thing. I'll sign the papers, and we can be done. His people are saying, oh, she's dragging this out so that she stays in the news and stays relevant, because they think without Johnny Depp, she's not relevant. She's saying that's not the case at all. I just do what you said you were going to do. I'll sign the papers and we'll be done. And now he's going to charge her $100,000 because she's not signing the papers and she was supposed to. It's just one of those situations where it's just like, What side do you
I also
believe?
heard she was saying basically it's $7 million. That's pre-tax now.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's just it. So now she's like, well, it should be doubled to 14 million because you're gonna be able to write this off.
Maybe they
It's a
need to
mess.
take a page out of Brad and Angelina's book and maybe settle it a little more quietly.
Yeah,
what do you
just,
think?
just settle it quietly, make a joint statement, and move on. Romance.
Yes. You can hear Heidi every morning on the Frosty, Heidi and Frank, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m., 95.5 KLOS radio, and you can see your weeknights 6:30 to 11:30 right here on Fox 11 on Dish Nation.
We're
of
also
course.
doing, we're trying out a little thing. We're doing the night shift. We're doing a 9 to 11 show.
How do you
well.
do that in terms of your sleep?
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Lots of caffeine.
Always
Exactly.
effervescent Heidi Hamilton. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.